checking out Minnesota's opening line. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniel. Reed is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. And for the Kings, the post pair for him will be Murray and Sabonis. Zach LaVine is out there with Ellis, and it's DeRozan in at the 3 slot. And what a matchup we have here in the front court, Greg.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
And taken away by Ellis. To the paint, here's Sabonis, and slam dunk by Sabonis.
And you know what? At 6'10", dunking is low stress for Sabonis. Solid at getting himself inside for these throwdowns.
Edwards with it, picked up by Ellis. Minnesota again turning it over. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Guys, I did have a chance to talk with the head coach of the Kings. Now, we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than a wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So we'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. And here's Edwards after the three-pointer from Zach LaVine.
Boy, the athleticism of Edwards is something to behold. Love watching him sky up to throw it down.
And LaVine throws it down.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete.
No question about it. He's very comfortable in the air. Dunks like that, no problem for him.
Now, here's Reed. Good on the triple.
Nice read by Edwards there, finding a wide-open teammate and sending the ball his way on target.
And you see, don't you, Clark, the steady progression year over year for Anthony Edwards.
Well, he's already an all-star since his 3rd season. With Edwards, the chance is there, if he continues to show the same improvement he's shown thus far, that he's going to be MVP caliber, and I dare say, perhaps the face of the league for several years to come.
So it's Minnesota now, after the Kings pick up 2. Reed with a screen on Ellis. It's Edwards on the wing. Shot clock at 5, and Ellis with the block. Outside, LaVine. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. DeRozan with a screen for LaVine. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
You know, it's not just the three-point shot for LaVine. He's got a lot of bounce, and that helps him get to the hoop, too.
Pass to Reed. McDaniels kicks to DiVincenzo. And Reed throws it down.
Assist. And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
Left side, Sabonis. LaVine finds Sabonis. And that comes off the assist by LaVine. Sabonis has got 5.
Boy, Sabonis looking really comfortable shooting off the pass. If you're not right up on him, he'll burn you.
Hit by Reed. DiVincenzo can't hit it. Kings leading now by 7. Kick out to LaVine. He doesn't hit that one. Great D that time from Edwards. 1:29 left in the first. Pass to Reed. Back to Edwards. And the basket good. A bad shot that time.
Edwards flexing on them now. Bully ball inside.
Hey, Greg, one thing that the Kings have had work for them over the last few seasons is their depth.
And have made some shrewd moves to fill out their bench. Got great contributions.
Whoa, man!
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
LaVine, a screen on DiVincenzo. Kick out to LaVine. 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Stolen by Reed. Pass to McDaniels. Picked by Reed. A nice shot by McDaniels.
Strong work inside by the 6'9" Jaden McDaniels, showing how effective he can be down there.
For three, Ellis. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Right side, Edwards. Lets the three fly, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's Zach Levine making... And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And what do you guys think about the Kings here in this one so far?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
DeRozan and Murray slot in at the small and power forward. Ellis is out there with Levine, and it's Sabonis in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Kings. Reed with a screen for DiVincenzo. Pass to Reed for the 3. Rebound by Murray. Kings leading now by 5. When Naz Reed is out there, Clark, spacing the floor is a real asset for him.
For sure, and you know, he really puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he can score from anywhere on the floor, and he's got great size and strength, and he does the little things too. I mean, you look at his points and rebounds, this guy gets deflections, he goes after loose balls, he gets you extra possessions on the glass, he steps in and takes charge. I mean, he does all the little and big things.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony Edwards is figuring things out. He said there's levels. My first 3 years, I looked for my shot and nothing else. I've learned that I can't win without my teammates and that I have to throw them the ball too. It's a team game. I know that now. Kevin, I know it too, so I'm throwing it back to you.
And you're the best teammate we could have. Thank you, David. And the basket by DeRozan.
Just so good finishing around the goal. DeMar is tremendous in the paint.
DiVincenzo against Levine. Reed with a screen on Levine.
Sacramento foul. Ellis. Second personal foul. Second team foul.
And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. For 3, Edwards. Missed it, shooting 50% at 3 for 6. Kings leading now by 5. Ellis finds Levine. Sabonis a screen on Randall. Good on the three-point shot. Levine's got 6 in the quarter.
Hey, he's one of the guys you don't want to give space to. Levine can do a lot of damage from deep.
DiVincenzo with it. Sabonis defending. Reed the pass to DiVincenzo. Randall with a screen for DiVincenzo. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. DiVincenzo's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you got to look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But, boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Greg, you look at the great coaches. What are 1 or 2 of the most important qualities for success that you see?
Well, for me, Kevin, I think you got to be able to adapt tactically. I mean, that's huge, and especially in the playoffs. But most important, can you motivate and unify a locker room? That leadership quality is what really puts a coach over the top.
The muscle from Edwards.
Boy, how about the strength of Edwards? Confident in taking on defenders and finishing.
On the way, Levine. McDaniels defending. And Levine, here we go. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Kings.
They look to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
You know, something else they've done really, really well, and I know the analytics don't support it, but they've made the most out of their mid-range jumper opportunities.
DiVincenzo with it. Sabonis defending. There's the drive. Four on the clock. McDaniels a screen on Murray. Randall with the bucket.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Ellis kicks to Levine. 1:21 left in the first half of the game. Levine a screen on Reed. Sabonis. Reed with the rebound.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Randall with a screen for DiVincenzo. Outside for Randall. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Here's Reed. A three-pointer, no good. Clock management, this is where they can get a 2-for-1.
And Kevin, every opportunity counts.
Tell you what, I don't know of anybody more aggressive at attacking the basket than DeRozan. A lot of his points come off the drive.
Randall a screen on Ellis. Edwards looking it over. Fires from deep. And Sabonis pulls it down. Sacramento leading by 6.
Timberwolves foul.
This is his third trip to the free throw line.
First personal foul. Third team.
And he makes the first.
Shooting for Sacramento.
And so Levine nails both of them. Now Randall. 5 points in the game. And that one is good. Randall's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that.
Can't cash in from close range.
Well, you will not see that from him very often, especially right at the rim.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to half. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
Yeah, you know what? The defense is going to adjust. They'll be ready for him now, so I'm sure they talked a lot about how to slow him down.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, they've got Miller, also Rudy Gobert out there, and it's Shannon in at the point.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
To the left wing, from past the arc. Second chance shot. Here's Gobert. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Big finish by Gobert, getting the hoop and going to the strike.
Minnesota shooting their first free throw of the contest.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
About 1 minute played here in the second half. Gobert with a screen on Crowder. Here's Alexander Walker. Good, nice job down low.
How about that wonderful floater he has, showing off an exquisite touch.
Up top, Monk, defended by Alexander Walker. For three. The shot by Monk is no good. Timberwolves trail by 3. To Gobert. He's looking for Lyles and finds him. And they're moving it up. Monk, no one around him. Here's Valanciunas. The shot, no good. Gobert with the defensive effort. Inside, here's Shannon. Miller with a wide open look. And Gobert kicks to Miller. Here's Shannon. Miller with a screen on Monk. Just 5 to shoot. Another shot. Here's Gobert. And finished off by Gobert.
Gobert so good around the rim. Had that shot back before the defense could do anything with it.
They set the screen. Monk, the pass to LaRavia. Valanciunas sets a screen for Monk. And there's the drive. Gobert with the block.
Love the way Gobert goes after shots. He blocks quite a few and alters many more.
Sacramento's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Monk outside. Pass to LaRavia. And there's the call on Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
First personal.
That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Whoops, they pick off the pass.
You could tell it was almost tunnel vision on that pass. Had no idea where the defender was.
Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Shannon passes to Alexander-Walker. Gobert, the screen.
Nice job of affecting the shot there by Valanciunas, using those long arms to just frustrate the shooter. And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Monk outside. They can use a bucket. Buries it from three-point range. Monk's got the game tied up here for Sacramento.
Well, you can see Monk's growth in operating in the pick and roll, getting better at taking advantage of what's available.
Here's Alexander-Walker, defended by Crowder. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Gobert. And now Minnesota on the fast break. The dunk with a foul on top of it. So strong.
Gobert can look over the top of just about any defense right there. Delivers a nice pass.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Minnesota?
Well, you know, for me, when you can convert this many times in the paint, I think that's a sign that your offense is really in a healthy state.
And they've also been steady from the three-point line and doing a good job creating room for their shooters and then converting.
Monk, a nice finisher around the basket now, using his quickness to get past defenders on the drive.
Here's Alexander-Walker, defended by Crowder. Alexander-Walker with the ball. Pocket 6. Down low, Crowder with the steal. And now Sacramento on the break. Here's Valanciunas. A good finish at the rack off the slick feet. And the Kings lead by 1.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
Alexander-Walker. The putback. Here's Gobert. And finished off by Gobert.
Good to see a player going all out in the games this tight.
You know, G, he knows what his job is. Control the offensive glass.
You know, that time I thought he did it with authority. Tremendous putback at a time when they really need it.
And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense, too. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
Anthony Edwards.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. The post pair for him will be Murray and Sabonis. Levine is out there with Ellis, and it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Reed with a screen on DeRozan. And finished off by McDaniel.
Rocketing right off the floor. Explosive jam by McDaniel.
Ellis against DiVincenzo. Ellis kicks to Levine. Murray sets a screen for Levine. And then Levine with the jam.
Hey, for all that Levine can do on the hardwood, at heart, he's a pure scorer.
Outside Edwards. Pass to Reed. Back to Edwards. Reed with a screen on Ellis. Edwards passes to Reed. Let's go. Offensive rebound. Now McDaniels. Reed with a screen on Levine. Here's DiVincenzo. And the wide open shot from Reed. Hits the three-point bomb. Reed's got the lead up to 6 now for the Timberwolves. Timeout, Sacramento. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
During that break, Sacramento's coach had some words for the team. He begged them, don't give up. He told his guys, one possession at a time. Let's go out there and do what we talked about. That's how we get back into this one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
And that's right in his wheelhouse. Looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots.
Levine against DiVincenzo. Picked by Reed. DiVincenzo kicks to Randall. Over to the wing. Here's McDaniels. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
McDaniels with the big answer.
Murray, the pass to Levine. DeRozan with it. And that comes off the assist by Levine.
The assist.
Levine's got 3 assists now in this one.
Sacramento foul. Ellis. Third personal foul. First team foul.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. 4-point game. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Guarded by Levine. DiVincenzo kicks to Reed. 5 on the clock.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
McDaniels in the post. DeRozan's there.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Here's Levine. Oh!
Man. Tell you what, we've got a game. I like that Levine's rising to the challenge as things get tight.
Edwards inside. He's guarded by Ellis. Reed the pass to Edwards. Reed with a screen for Edwards. And he elevates for the slam. Domantas Sabonis did not like that at all.
At every level, Edwards has been the go-to guy for his team. It's in his DNA.
We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. Outside for Murray. Over Randall. Murray, no good.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
McDaniels with the ball. Sabonis defending. McDaniels dishes to Randall. On the wing, DiVincenzo. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall. Now it's a 7-point Timberwolves lead.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
It doesn't look good, even with a quick bucket here.
Nailed from three-point land.
And the crowd is loving this long-range bomb attack that we're seeing here tonight, coming right back to answer a 3 with one of their own.
Unbelievable couple of possessions here. I mean, the energy in here really starting to boil. Coming up big in the clutch. McDaniels with the highlight reel hoop.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Poked away. Oh, and here we go. Ellis has got it. The desperate chance. Murray for three. Minnesota with the rebound. Randall against Murray. Now here's Randall. And so Minnesota takes the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win. All right, David, thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks.
to it. Let's take a look at our starters for the Golden State Warriors. Moody is out there with Steph and Curry. Then there's Butler. Then it's Green. And it's Post in at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Kings, DeRozan and Murray in at the forward spots. Then there's Zach LaVine. Then it's Domantas Sabonis. And it's Ellis in at the point. Richard, what do you expect to see from this guard matchup?
These guys are lethal one-on-one, but I think the key is to keep their teammates involved, playing unselfish basketball.
Curry goes in. It's rebounded by Sabonis.
And you don't see that every day. Usually he'll convert when he gets that close to the rim.
Here's LaVine. Up and in on the layup.
What determination from LaVine, finding his finish despite the contact.
And here's Curry for three. Hauled in by the Kings. And they're on the run. And LaVine throws it down.
I like the decision to push it. He gives the D no time to recover.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Well, I caught up with the head coach of the Kings for a moment. I asked him outright how he planned to deal with Steph Curry. How does anyone deal with him? Coach joked. He went on to say, we'll try to contest every shot and chase him off the arc, but emphasis on try. Not easy to solve a problem with no good solution, I guess, B.A.
All right, Allie, thanks once again. Yeah, Graham, despite the Warriors' success over the last decade, it hasn't always been this way for this franchise.
Yeah, they didn't have many winning seasons before they got Steph, Clay, and Dre. And you know, B.A., from 1978 to 2012, they made the playoffs just 6 times.
Outside Curry. Lets the three fly. Goes back up. Here's Post. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
And their offensive rebounding is such a strength for them when he's on the floor.
Yeah, he really helps them extend possessions, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can feel Coach smiling on the sidelines with every offensive board.
Back to LaVine. And the dunk by LaVine.
Hope you got some popcorn. When LaVine gets up for a slam, Zach knows how to put on a show.
Here's Curry. Soft touch off the glass.
And they may have talked about shot selection coming into this. I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for Domantas Sabonis.
For your Kings, number 17, Jonas Valanciunas.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Curry looking it over. Jacks up a three. Valanciunas with a rebound. And LaVine has got the ball here for Sacramento. It's a three-point game. DeRozan passes to Ellis. Back to DeRozan. Butler with a steal. A deep three. Can't get a second shot to fall. Now 1 of 2. The Kings have gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. Now well into his 30s. Is it fair to start wondering how many seasons Jimmy Butler has left, Grant?
Well, it's a fair question, B.A. But at the same time, Jimmy's hunger is just so different than everybody else's, which I could see helping prolong his career.
Now here's Moody. The D's right on him. Down low. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And pushing it up. Here's Sacramento. And LaVine throws it down.
Active defense from Murray leads to the steal and the break.
And it's Green off the drive. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
First personal foul.
And when we talk about players who impact winning, Draymond Green is high on that list, RJ.
And the amazing thing, his career scoring average is in the single digits. Draymond does it with his passing and directing the defense and gives his teams energy.
LaVine. And then jammed it down as he goes right over Jimmy Butler.
Check out LaVine getting artful at the rim, leaving the defense just completely clueless of how to stop it.
Curry finds Butler. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Curry. Butler's gotten his second bucket.
And that's how you lead a team, literally.
Here's Ellis. He's covered by Curry. Outside for Levine. Hey, he's now 6 for 6. He is cooking right now.
I'm going to tell you this. Defensively, you cannot let a streak shooter get a groove. And right now, Zach LaVine, he is on fire.
Outside Curry. They set a pick. Pass to post. Back to Curry. Good if it goes. And it's good. But hang on here. The officials may want to take a look at it on the replay monitor. And indeed, they're going to look at it again. Buzzer.
And there's really plenty of time remaining in this game, so you want to make sure the right call was made.
And they've gotten enough looks at it. The basket will not count. The quarter ended before he got it off.
That was a great idea to give it a second glance. The replay system is available, so you've got to utilize it.
Zach LaVine, he's been the guy making things happen for Sacramento. He made a big impact, scoring 12 points in the quarter. Back to the game after this break. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. And what do you think about the Kings here, guys?
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
It leads to some easy buckets, and I think it's given them control of the pace in this one.
DeRozan and Murray in at the forward spot. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Zach LaVine, and it's Ellis in at the 1. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Kings.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Pass to Moody. The 3. Here's the pick. Oh, serious gut check points from Moody.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
And grant the Kings one of those up-and-coming teams that are knocking at the door.
Yeah, they have some stars, BA. They have some great role players, too. Part of their problem is they're in the Western Conference. It's so hard to just make the play-in tournament in that conference.
Outside Moody. Pass to Butler. Back to Moody. Here's Post. Sinks another one. He's on a roll, starting 4 for 4.
Put your head down and go to work. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Ellis' shot is off.
The defense just giving him the easy look there. He's not going to miss that.
Here's Butler. Rebound by Sacramento.
And he's very confident from that range, but you can't make him off.
Here's DeRozan, and he drives in, and he banks in the layup. DeRozan's got 5.
Now that's his dribble drive. That's one of DeMar DeRozan's superpowers.
Curry from deep three-point land. The quick look, no good that time. Levine surveys the D. Second quarter play, almost 3 minutes gone here. Off target with the open look.
If he gets that look again, he should take it. You can't let one miss scare you off of a very good shot.
Butler's shot is good.
If you're defending Butler, you throw up your hands when he makes a pull-up. It's just not fair.
Here's Ellis. Gets it to drop. Now 2 of 4. Wow, 8 lead changes in the first half. Unbelievable.
Yeah, both sides digging in for what looks like a war.
Here's Curry. Outside Butler. 1:46 left to play in the second quarter. All sorts of time. And Post gets it to go. post has got 6 in the quarter. RJ, you got traded a couple of times for good reason. What's it like off the floor?
I don't need your quips, BA, but it is crazy. You get a phone call and bam, you can move across the country. And while it's hard on you, you understand it comes with playing in this league and having this job. Yeah, he was able to sneak it to the rim. Had enough room to get just like an easy layup.
Pass to post. 1:11 left in the first half of this game. Nice D from Valanciunas. DeRozan passes to Levine. From downtown, and Zach LaVine from deep.
And with how well Levine attacks the bucket, defensively, you almost have to give him space to shoot threes.
Outside Curry. Pass to Green. Outside Moody. Oh, the smooth three from Moody.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
We've got 22 seconds left to play in the second quarter. The Warriors have gotten 6 of 9 attempts to go in the second. Looking good. Now here's Curry. Launches it from deep. Rebound by Sacramento. Valanciunas has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Ellis. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Kings ahead, up by 1. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit. We're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Boy, Zach LaVine has been sensational.
They've leaned on him to provide a lot of offense, and that's how he likes it.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
So on the floor for Golden State, Buddy Hield is out there with Jonathan Kuminga. Then there's Brandon Podziemski. Then it's Trace Jackson-Davis. And it's Payton in at the shooting guard position. Outside Payton. There's a screen by Kuminga. Lets it go from deep. Hits a three-pointer.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Monk into the lane, and that one is stuffed right through.
His hang time on the rim puts a sweet cherry on top, BA.
It's a close game, and those displays of explosiveness can jumpstart a team. Richard, something you notice about these Kings, they shoot plenty of threes.
And that's the modern game for you, BA. But Sacramento shoots especially freely. You are right. And those shots often connect, so I doubt that trend changes for them anytime soon.
Monk with it. He's got 5. The 3-ball. Rebounded by Hield. The Warriors trailing. And we're about a minute and a half in the second half. So they take the lead.
Nice move. Hield showing he's not just a three-point shooter.
Right side Monk. Pass to Lyles. And it's Gary Payton the second with a foul. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Outside Monk. Five on the clock. Takes a 3. The shot that time not on target. The Warriors have gone 3 of 3 in the second half. Right side, Kuminga. There's a screen. Puts it up. It's rebounded by Sabonis.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
Pass to Payton. The three. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. And pushing it up. Here's Sacramento. And it's LaRavia missing. The Warriors leading. Payton, no good. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 5 in this third quarter. Well, Grant, in the spring of 2024, a remarkable streak ended. Domantas Sabonis had recorded 61 consecutive double-doubles.
Yeah, it was the longest streak since the merger back in 1976. Now, Sabonis has led the NBA in rebounding multiple years. Plus, he has averaged 8 assists in a season, so that is big-time production.
Here's Kuminga. Oh, throw it down! Wow!
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim. Remember when people were questioning whether the Warriors were truly a dynasty, RJ?
I do, and that was erased for good with that championship run in 2022. I still think that that is Steph's most important championship. That title cemented them as one of the all-time great teams of the last 50 years.
Outside Pajemski. On the wing, Payton. There's the triple. There's Jackson Davis. And he throws it down with one hand.
And when the game is this close, you have to go all out.
He certainly understands his role, huh? When the shot goes up, just crashes the offensive glass.
He's just giving them everything he has. It's why his teammates appreciate and enjoy playing with him.
The Warriors lead by 3. And Payton, here we go. And he goes in for the dunk.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easy.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
Love to see that kind of activity. He just makes things happen.
32 seconds left in the third. Inside. Now here's Jackson Davis. He's guarded by Sabonis. Right side, Kuminga. Crowder grabs the miss. Here's LaRavia. He's watched by Kuminga. And here's Monk. Here's Sabonis. And they're unable to get the tying bucket there. And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. Warriors ahead, up 2. And we're coming back in just a... Well, what a terrific game it's been so far. With this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. Here's Curry. DeRozan and Murray in at the forward spots. Then there's Zach LaVine. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Ellis in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. And the basket by Curry.
And Curry makes the floater look so sweet. You just assume that it's going in the minute he releases it.
And that's a foul called on Stephen Curry. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Now Valanciunas. Here's Ellis. 5 to shoot. Driving to the basket. And counted from 12 feet.
This has been the story of the game. A battle fought on offense.
Yeah, but I think it's going to come down to who can get the stops down the stretch, because that's who's going to come away with this one.
Butler on the wing. Here's post. Valanciunas covering. Oh, Curry! A sick triple.
Such a quick release. As soon as the ball touches his hands, it's gone.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone now. Ellis's shot is off. The Warriors lead by 5.
Kings foul. Ellis. Second personal foul. First team foul.
Now here's Curry, guarded closely. We've gone about a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. Pass to post. He shoots it. And it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. Now it's a 7-point Warrior lead.
Just great awareness from Curry. So good at reading the floor and finding his open teammates.
Levine against Butler. Puts up a deep three. Levine can't hit. And so Curry will bring it up for Golden State. 7-point game. Biggest lead so far.
Unselfish offense leads to Butler getting something in rhythm.
Outside for Levine. Oh, Levine getting revenge with his own triple.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Valanciunas against Butler. And yes, it's good. He's 7 for 8 now.
Since halftime, they have been efficient and effective, making Coach very happy.
Well, I credit some of that to their communication out on the floor. They are attacking as a unit.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. You just missed it.
Kings foul. Ellis. Third personal foul. Second team foul.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth now. And here's Curry for 3. Valanciunas with a rebound. Valanciunas has got rebound number 7 tonight. Here's Levine for 3. Oh, he pipes it. 9 for 14 and showing no let-up.
This is how Levine operates. He hunts down shots and then fully commits to his selection.
Right side Curry. Look at Chef Curry cooking it up inside.
You'd love to get the ball this close in every trip where you can almost just not miss.
Outside for Levine. Valanciunas with a screen on Butler. Here's Levine. Ooh, lots of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws will follow that whistle.
Playing fast and getting clever, Levine throws off the defense with the pump fake.
And the second of 2 is good. And that narrows the gap to 7.
Ooh, you hope that leaving points at the line won't come back to haunt them.
Now here's Curry. He's guarded closely. A minute 20 left in the fourth quarter here. Shot clock at 5. The 3 is up. Valanciunas with a rebound. The Kings have got 3 of 6 shots to go in this fourth quarter. DeRozan for 3 connects from downtown.
Here is a guy you can count on in these moments. The high pressure doesn't even bother DeMar.
Pass to post. And here's Curry. Here's the 3. And no good.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Here's Levine for 3. Rebounded by Green. There's 31 seconds left in the game. Outside Curry. From deep three-point land. That won't go either for Curry.
This is the definition of forcing it. He's trying to get himself going, but taking tough shots just won't do it.
Butler against DeRozan. Now here's Butler. And so the big win by Golden State in a tight game. Allie, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For great
Sports. And now the Golden State Warriors starters. They've got Curry. Jimmy Butler is out there with Green. Then there's Moses Moody. And it's Post in at the 5 spot. And for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Julius Randle is out there with Naz Reid. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Here's Post. And that one, good.
You simply must put a body on this guy. You know he's going to try to get to that glass.
And there's the call on Curry. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Randle with a screen for DiVincenzo. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge.
Now, here's Moody. Pass to Curry. 5 to shoot. Shoots over McDaniel. Again, Curry missing.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Greg, since reaching 5 consecutive NBA Finals, the Warriors have missed the playoffs 3 of the past 5 years.
And to be fair, they did go 46-36 last season. They were 10 games over 500 last year. So they weren't a bad team, but Golden State doesn't just expect to be in the play-in. They want to be a contender.
Well, that floater right there is exactly what you would see from Steph Curry in his warm-up. He practices every shot from every angle.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. With the drive, and he dunks it down.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Up top, Moody. Defended by DiVincenzo. And Green gets it to go.
Boy, you have to respect how aggressive Draymond Green is. If he's got the ball in his hands, he's ready to fire.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks. I caught up with Chris Finch. We discussed Steph Curry, of course, and what he advised his team to do against him. Coach said, I told our guys that we have to be right up on him, to fight over screens and not allow him to feel comfortable out there. A huge task for any defense, and we'll see if this one is up to the challenge. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
And you got the feeling that was coming. Curry loves coming back with a 3 of his own.
Read the pass to DiVincenzo. 1:57 left in the first quarter. To the inside, Randle. Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
If there is something that defines Julius Randle's game, it's the ability to score through contact. Give him the N1.
DB, ever since winning the most improved player back in 2021, Randle has stayed scoring at an incredible clip.
Yeah, Kevin, what makes this guy such a difficult matchup is his size and the ability to drive it. And now what you've seen is this evolution into a legit threat from three-point territory. He is such a difficult cover.
And a deep three from Curry. Can't drop the tough three-pointer. Timberwolves leading by 5. And here's Edwards from the arc. Curry with the rebound. And it's Curry with the ball, bringing it up for the Golden State Warriors. .114 left in the first quarter. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. Knocks down the 3-ball. DiVincenzo's got 9 points.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not what you want to leave open.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And many around the league believe Curry doesn't get enough fouls called in his favor. G.A., what do you think?
There could be some truth to that. He gets held and grabbed more than anyone when running off screens, but especially blatant on drives to the rim.
Oh, here's Edwards. 43 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game, and as outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
Pass to post. Butler against Edwards. To the left side wing. Misses the three. Timberwolves leading by 8. And here is DiVincenzo. 9 points in the game so far. Now Randall lets it go with a three. And Curry pulls it down. Puts up a deep three, and the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Timberwolves.
We've got a bunch of this game yet to be played, but they're shooting it well from the three-point line. That's got to be a welcome sight.
I think the other thing they've done a great job of is making their presence felt inside, converting tons of paint opportunities.
Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Reed is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the one spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Minnesota leading by 6. Randle a screen on Curry. A three for DiVincenzo. It's rebounded by Golden State. Now here's Moody. Scoreless thus far. Golden State moving the ball around. From downtown, drills the three-pointer.
You know if you're open, Stephen Curry has that team-first mentality. He will find you.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Edwards kicks to Randle. Jimmy Butler with the rebound. Warriors trail by 3. Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team...
What a sweet kick by Edwards.
How about Anthony Edwards, the bounce? Go ahead, Ant.
Butler with the ball. Pass to post. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look, right at the cup. Nicely done.
Now DiVincenzo. He's got 9. And the wide open shot from Reed. No good with the triple. Golden State's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Green. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Green's got the lead up to 1 now for the Warriors.
And one thing about Draymond, he almost invites contact.
Up top, Edwards. Defended by Butler. And Edwards with the stop.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space. Edwards against Butler. Hard earned by Butler.
Well, the defense reacts, but not quite good enough to deal with Jimmy Butler on the interior. Pretty play.
Reed with a screen on Butler. Edwards. Pass to Reed. Fires the three. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
This guy can do so much for you on the offensive end, and that is why his number gets called time and time again.
Curry against McDaniel. Curry looking it over. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. For Minnesota, they've gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Randle with the bucket.
Well, you see Julius Randle striking from wherever the defense concedes it. That's nicely done.
Curry against McDaniel. The three. Got that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut back down to 2 at those points from Curry.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
The shot's good from DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's got 11 points.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Curry can't get it to go.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part. How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
The inside game of Stephen Curry.
On the offensive end, Curry both prolific and efficient.
Edwards looking it over. Reed finds Edwards. Oh, he misses the dunk.
Oh, an easy look, but he decides to be a crowd pleaser. I'm sure he's upset for attempting that one.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves lead by 5. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
Get ready for the big half-court shot.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Nice game. Great performance by Dante DiVincenzo.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Hield is out there with Kuminga. Then there's Gary Payton II. Then it's Trace Jackson Davis. And it's Pajemski in at the point.
We always know this has been a strength of Rudy Gobert, getting the offensive window. Nicely done.
Outside, Kuminga. We know the 90s were a different era, Greg. Either win the game or win the fight. Remember that? Do you miss that physicality?
Well, I will say, Kevin, it made for some great stories, but I don't think we're missing much without all the extracurriculars. And I think we have a beautiful game now.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Covered by Payton. Alexander Walker passes to Gobert. Misses from short range. Warriors trail by 4. Outside, Kuminga. Golden State needs to get off a shot.
Well, what he lacks in size for a typical center, he makes up for with all that athleticism. Boy, can he elevate.
Gobert, the screen. Shannon passes to Gobert. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, there's height and reach to the advantage of Rudy Gobert. Just gets up and over the top of guys.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Rudy Gobert continues to embrace the challenge of elite rim protection. He said competition is what it's about. Sometimes I'm going to get dunked out, and sometimes I'll get the block. But I'm not going to stop coming and doing what I do. I'll be there every time. Kevin?
David, just like you. Thanks so much. Here's Alexander Walker. No good on the three. Golden State's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Healed outside. Majemski on the wing. That evens the score. Majemski's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And not just a scorer. Hill is solid at reading when his guys are open for a look.
Driving in.
Going to the rack with energy. And the lead afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage in a close game. Those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction.
And that one drops for him. Majemski's got it all tied up now for the Warriors.
Yeah, he shot the ball well enough to keep his team even. Let's see if together they can elevate past that.
Three-pointer. Shot's good by Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker's got 5. So it's the Warriors now. And when you look at Alexander Walker, Doris, so consistent from year to year.
This is a young man who knows his role, finds ways to help the team within the context of what the Stars are doing. And those are exactly the kind of role players you need in order to have a quality basketball team.
3 on the clock. Payton's shot is off.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Here's Alexander Walker. He's defended by Majemski. Payton looking around. Pass to Majemski. Now here's Payton. T right on him. Pulls it up. A rebound by the Timberwolves. And there's a foul. It'll go on Trace Jackson-Davis. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
There's 47 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Shannon. He's defended by Majemski. Alexander Walker passes to Gobert. From down in the low post, it goes. Now it's a 5-point Minnesota lead.
How about Gobert with the find? On time and on target. Nicely done, Rudy.
Here's Jackson-Davis. Out to Payton. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Driving the lane. Back to Jackson-Davis. Kuminga against Miller. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. Kuminga, no good. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feet. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Julius Randle is out there with Naz Reid. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. So that's the Timberwolves 5.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
You want to continue to build on this lead. Right now, still a little too close for comfort.
Edwards against Payton. And Kuminga throws it down.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. And they go to the intentional foul.
Really really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. DiVincenzo kicks to Randall. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Oh, nice feed. You can see how Curry makes their offense flow, even when he's not scoring.
Reed with a screen on Butler. Here's Edwards. Up top, Reed. To the right side. Randall finds Edwards. Picked by Randall. There's the triple. They get it back. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Randall with a screen for Edwards. Goes back up. Outside for Randall. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Warriors trail by 3 to tie it up. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Butler.
I mean, the range is just unreal. Curry can make even the toughest shots look easy.
DiVincenzo passes to Reed. It's Edwards on the wing. Picked by Reed. Edwards making a statement.
Looking to get stops late. That kind of defense ain't gonna cut it.
That's unacceptable. The hustle and focus on that end is not there for either side.
Pass to post. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. McDaniels with the ball. Off target from 3-point range. Now here's Green. He's defended by Randall, and Green slams it in.
Draymond Green never backs away in big possessions. In fact, you get the sense this guy loves the spotlight.
Reed with a screen for Edwards. And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Here's Reed. And he's good on the 3-ball. Reed's got 5 points now this quarter.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Pass to post. Curry wide open. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. And now Minnesota on the fast break. 1:35 left in the game. Edwards against Butler. Butler with the steal. Launches a 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Reed's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And Randall throws it down.
That's about trusting your guy in the clutch. Julius Randall embracing a tough opportunity.
Curry against McDaniel. Now here's Curry. Not a lot of room. From deep 3-point land. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
If you want to cut into a lead, you have got to trust your teammates and move the ball.
Reed with a screen on Butler. Swiped away. Curry against McDaniel. Butler sets a screen for Curry. This one for 3. It's in! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
I'll tell you, it takes confidence to pull the trigger in that situation. You love guys who relish the moment.
DiVincenzo.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
And the slam by Moody.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. And they commit an intentional foul. See another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
11 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And he commits the intentional foul.
Second personal foul. 3rd team foul. At the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
Here's Moody. Pass to Green from outside the arc. No good that time. And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless. Thank you for that, David. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony.
For this, let's check out Sacramento's starting lineup. The duo inside, it's Murray and Sabonis. Then it's DeMar DeRozan. Then there's Zach LaVine, and it's Ellis in at the point guard position. And for Minnesota, Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Naz Reid, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point. Grant, looking at these two teams, my attention is drawn to the front court matchup.
Oh yeah, this should be a battle on the baseline. Great to watch skilled bigs trade blows and show off what they can do down low.
5 on the clock. Edwards, the pass to Randle. Hauled in by the Kings.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go to it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
On the wing, Murray, checked by Randle. There's the screen. The drive by Murray. Goes up and lays it in, nice and easy.
Yeah, just a solid play by Murray. He knows where to get his shots.
And here's Edwards outside, knocks down the triple.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with head coach Chris Finch. Zach LaVine's name came up, and I asked how he plans to deal with him. And coach said, quote, what's scary about LaVine is how many ways that he can score. So there's no easy answer except for high-effort defense, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So the defense is trying to outwork LaVine tonight. We'll see how that goes. Guys?
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. Now here's Edwards. Reed sets a screen. Out to the right wing. Back to Edwards. From behind the arc. It's rebounded by Sabonis. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Here's LaVine. And LaVine, throw it down.
That's the sauce right there. I mean, every night, LaVine approaches the rim like it's a dunk contest.
Picked his pocket. On the break. And Sabonis slams it in.
Oh, that's impactful defense right there. Finding a steal and instantly turning it into offense.
Pass to Reed. DiVincenzo with it. Outside for Randle. 6 on the shot clock. Good on the shot.
And yeah, Randle is absolutely a threat from in between. Something the D has to recognize and adjust accordingly.
Here's Ellis. DiVincenzo covering. LaVine with a screen on DiVincenzo. Ellis, good. Ellis has got 5 now.
Well, it's a three-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
Right side, DiVincenzo. Here's Randle. And it's Randle with the jam.
Wow. Julius Randle. We could feel the floor shaking on that one.
LaVine with a screen on DiVincenzo. LaVine against McDaniels. Another 3 for Sacramento.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Now here's Edwards. Randle, a screen on DeRozan. Outside Edwards. It's rebounded by Sabonis. Sabonis has got his 4th rebound in this one. And Stan, while Edwards has pushed back, it hasn't stopped others from comparing him to his airness, Michael Jordan.
And that talk is more about how his game reminds one of MJ and less about greatness. Edwards' career is just getting started.
Now here's Edwards. Shot is up. Rebound by Sacramento. Sabonis has got 5 rebounds tonight. LaVine feeling it out a bit. Pass to DeRozan. Edwards against LaVine. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. DeRozan. Reed with the rebound. And it's Edwards with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They trail by 7. McDaniels from long range. And Domas Sabonis pulls it down. Sabonis has got his 6th rebound on the night. Sabonis with a screen on DiVincenzo. To the paint. Levine with it.
Oh, and he hits it at the buzzer. And credit him for understanding the situation.
And so it's Sacramento with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. They've done well to disrupt the opposition, playing inspired defense. More NBA on 2K Sports right after this. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And let's take a moment to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for the Kings.
Well, yeah, early on, the mid-range jumpers have been an important part of their attack. They're going old school.
Another area they've excelled in is the points in the paint. They've been able to gouge the interior defense so far in this one.
Amp is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Nas Reed out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Randle on the screen. From outside the arc. Hauled in by the Kings. Sabonis has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Ryan, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Reed. And the Kings have held tough. But it seems like the West has gotten tougher, Grant.
Well, what's the saying? If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And the Kings have to find that next level.
Levine with a screen on Edwards. Outside for Levine. Stolen by Reed. Outside Edwards. Reed with it. He's picked up by Levine. And Reed with a basket on the assist by Edwards.
Well, defensively, all eyes are on Edwards, and that creates opportunities for others.
Levine with a screen on DiVincenzo. Ellis passes to Levine. Pass to Ellis. 5 to shoot. From deep. Edwards pulls it in.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Here's Reed. A slam dunk by Reed.
Well, you can see that Edwards isn't trying to do it all on his own. He's also looking for shots for others out there.
Pass to Ellis. Sabonis in the post. Guarded by Edwards. And Sabonis gets it to go.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Edwards on target.
Well, you have to be careful with Edwards on the arc because he is completely fearless.
Outside Levine. Pass to Ellis. Levine with a screen on DiVincenzo. Outside for Levine. Levine in deep. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
Come on, you can't be doing that. I know these guys want to put on a show, but you can't pass up.
Oh, he puts it down.
That is incredible. Wow, this is how explosive Edwards can be. He finishes with such force at the rim.
Here's Ellis. Three-pointer off the mark. Timberwolves trail by 5. Stan, a late first-round pick in 2020. Jaden McDaniels, one of the top young two-way players in the league.
Well, Brian, last season he was rewarded with a big money extension. His play tailed off just a bit, but still a key player for them moving forward.
Edwards for 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Edwards has got 11 points.
He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end. Timeout
called, Sacramento. For Sacramento, they've gotten 2 of 5 shots to fall this second quarter. Sabonis outside. Levine with a screen on Reed. Sabonis, the pass to Levine. And miss after miss right now.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up in.
Back to Randall. DiVincenzo on the wing. Left side Reed. Outside McDaniels. And it's out of bounds to Minnesota.
Almost had the steal. You have to love the pressure defense.
Yeah, deflections are a stat that a lot of teams track, disrupting the offense's rhythm and flow.
DiVincenzo against Levine. Tries again. Oh, Sabonis with a block.
That shot won't fly with Sabonis around. Nearly 7 feet tall, plus his reach. He creates serious coverage.
And that's how you defend. Glad we had a chance to see a replay of that block again.
Yeah, what a play. I mean, that'll have the offense thinking twice about taking shots in his presence.
DeRozan passes to Murray. Back to DeRozan. Picked by Sabonis. DeRozan finds Sabonis. Late clock here. The Kings need to get one up. And Sabonis slams it in.
Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However, his leaping ability can certainly mask that.
For 3, Randall. And that's not going to go. Misses at the buzzer. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Sacramento on top. They lead by 4. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams trying to gain an edge. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, he's been locked in tonight. Through the first 2 quarters, he's been a huge factor from outside.
On the court for Sacramento, Jay Crowder is out there with Trey Lyles. Then it's Malik Monk. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's LaRavia in at the shooting guard position. And there's the foul. It's on Malik Monk. That's his first foul. Here's Shannon. Monk covers. Gobert with a screen on Monk. Here's Shannon. Grant, there's a huge difference between talent on paper versus winning.
You're right, B.A., and it comes down to coaching, chemistry, and sacrifice. But I think the biggest thing is effort. All things being equal, the team that plays the hardest is going to win.
To the middle. Here's Lyles. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Well, that's too easy. As he says, let me add to my highlight reel.
Here's Lyles. Uneasy, too, on the layup. And it's an 8-point Kings lead.
Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
For Sacramento, they've got 2 of 3 from the floor in this third quarter.
And they're playing rock-solid basketball right now. Really starting to see that lead grow.
Well, that third quarter is when you want to increase your lead. Really building it up before that final quarter.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. Gobert with a screen on Crowder. Outside, Alexander Walker. Six to shoot. They need this. And he'll draw the foul. And coach doesn't like the call at all. He's opting to use his challenge. He wants the officials to look at the replay.
Alexander Walker.
The NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Now here's Monk. He's closely guarded. They grab their own miss. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Kings lead by 14.
Yeah, secures the ball off the glass. Does a nice job going right back up.
From the arc. Alexander Walker with the bucket. Alexander Walker's got himself on the board with a three there.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And the basket by Monk.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And you know he's tough on the glass. Easy money there for Gobert.
Valanciunas, good.
Here in the second half, they've just found better shots.
Yeah, they've looked really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting.
Here's Gobert. Here's Shannon. Monk covers. Fires the three. Shannon's shot is off. And it's the Kings ball. They're on a 14-5 run. Pass to Valanciunas. The finish! And the dunk by Valanciunas.
And look at the big man leak out. Valanciunas being rewarded for taking initiative in transition and hustling.
It's scooped up. Here's Gobert. Rudy, a monster inside.
The second chance points are all about a lack of effort defensively. Those buckets would drive me nuts.
Monk for three. Pure from three-point range. Monk's got 5 points.
That's inexcusable defense right there. You gotta contest the shot better than that.
Gobert with a screen on Crowder. Outside, Alexander Walker. Picked by Gobert. Launches a three. The shot by Alexander Walker, no good.
And he just hasn't been able to get it going this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
Gobert with a screen on Crowder. Here's Alexander Walker. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
What a huge shot to beat the buzzer. My goodness.
Oh, man, that's like steel.
And so it's the Sacramento Kings up 15 points as this quarter concludes. Defense is setting the tone. And don't go far. We'll be right back. And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Naz Reid. And it's DiVincenzo in at point guard. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. The Kings lead by 15. Left side, Levine.
Switch. Come get it.
Outside Murray. Back to Levine. Murray, a screen on McDaniels. Here's Levine for 3. Randle pulls down the board. And here's Minnesota now. Outside Edwards. Randle on the screen. The 3 is up. And Edwards good for 3.
He's been so aggressive on offense. And with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
Here's Levine for 3. The shot comes out. Timberwolves trail by 12. Pass to DiVincenzo. Down low. Here's Edwards. Reed for three. For three, Randall. Rebound by Sacramento. Sabonis has got 8 rebounds in the game. Back to Levine. To the inside. Here's Sabonis. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Kings lead by 14.
Yeah, the touch of Sabonis around the rim. I mean, it's fantastic.
Edwards, a pass to Reed. The kick out to Edwards. Buries it from 3. Edwards got 6 here in the quarter.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
Look, when the 3 is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Reed sets a screen. On the take, Edwards. And the foul on the shot. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. And Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
Outside Reed. Outside Edwards. Pass to DiVincenzo. The Timberwolves need to get off a shot here. A slam dunk by Reed.
This is anyone's game now, and they have the momentum.
Yeah, taking away the lead is never easy, but a rally like this is how you do it.
Let's go with a 3. Drops in the 3.
And he's not taking it easy on them at all. I mean, we all know he's going to keep pouring it on.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
4-3. Gets the 3 to fall.
By maximizing their potential on every scoring opportunity, they've somehow, some way made this a thrilling finale.
DeRozan passes to Levine. 1:33 left in the fourth. Murray, a screen on McDaniels. Here's Levine for 3. Offensive rebound, Kings. Murray, a screen on McDaniels. Levine can't hit. And here's Minnesota now. They're on a 13-5 run. McDaniels can't hit. Ellis passes to Levine. Here's Ellis. Back to Levine. Sabonis with a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Levine. Oh, Zach Levine takes flight.
And what a dunk by Levine, looking to punish the defense.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 from the perimeter during the fourth. Here's DiVincenzo. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. They led by as many as 18. I think a bucket here, Grant, would end this game.
Absolutely. That would put a bow on this one.
Shoots from the baseline. And he nails the jumper.
This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Here's Edwards. Bullseye! And Levine has got the ball here for the Sacramento Kings. They've got a 9-point lead. Pass to Ellis. Back to Levine. This one for 3. Hits the trifecta. So no problem for Sacramento as they get the win. Exceptional effort. All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now with Grant Hill.
Take a look at our starters for Sacramento. DeRozan and Murray slot in at the small and power forward. Ellis is out there with Levine, and it's Sabonis in at the 5 down low. And for Golden State, they've got Jimmy Butler. Moses Moody is out there with Curry. Then there's Draymond Green, and it's Post in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. We've got some great guards going head-to-head in this one. Brent, what will you keep your eye on in that matchup?
Well, Kevin, you're pointing out the guard play, so this is when they have a chance to go one-on-one. Which of these tandems can stand out against the other? Tons of pick and roll, tons of creativity, and we'll see which of these guys can pair off tonight to win this contest.
Here's Ellis. Here he goes. That falls. Nice feed that time from Sabonis.
And it's such a strong part of what Sabonis brings to the game. Quality passing.
Curry against Ellis. Now here's Curry. He's tightly guarded. No good with the layup. Quick start for the Kings in this one. It's a 5-point game. Levine looking around. Yes, that goes in. Levine's got 5.
Good job by Levine fighting for that position.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Well, I talked with head coach Steve Kerr. I wanted to ask him about the challenges his team will face going up against DeMar DeRozan. Coach said it doesn't matter what kind of defense you throw at him. DeMar is so good getting to his comfort zones and knocking down shots. What people don't realize is how good of a playmaker he is. Kevin, a tall task to slow him down.
Thank you, David. It seems likely that the Warriors' title run under Steph Curry, Brent, is probably come to a close.
I'm not going to count Steph Curry out quite yet, Kevin, but you know they have added some quality youngsters. They're trying to grow that group. How fast can they bring those kids along to championship caliber players? That's the big question. They're going to win their share of games.
Levine can't hit.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And stolen by Murray. Ellis with it. Butler covering. DeRozan passes to Ellis. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Great open look there. Levine's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Well, if I was baking up a lead, I'd add 2 ingredients. One would be playing smart, the other one playing selfless. They've done that tonight. Serve it up.
And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here.
It remains Golden State basketball.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Up top, Moody, guarded by Levine. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Outside, Sabonis. And it's off from three-point range. Warriors trail by 10. Curry with it. Picked up by Ellis. Pass to post. Back to Curry. Latrey hits it from three-point range. Curry's got his second bucket tonight.
It doesn't matter if it's off the bounce or off the catch. Curry never loses rhythm on his jump shot.
Here's Ellis, and he banks in the layup.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Outside, Green. Up and in on the layup.
And Draymond is smart at knowing when to shoot the ball, especially when he's got strong position inside. And to me, Draymond Green really embodies the idea of a high IQ player. He can read the opposition, predict where a play is going, and those instincts aren't something that can be easily taught to anyone.
The kick out to Sabonis. Outside, Levine. 6 to shoot. Driving to the basket. Scored the basket. His fourth. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Now, that play never gets old. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
And the wide open shot from Green. A three-pointer off the mark.
Not sure how he finds himself in so much space there. He's kicking himself for whiffing a bit on that one.
Shots good by Ellis.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
Well, how good have they been on the inside tonight, just getting down into the painted area, just dominating, controlling that spot. Well, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
DeRozan's shot is good.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there. Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding at rising up off the ground.
Kings leading now by 8. Ellis outside with the drive. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, dominant so far. That's the responsibility of the starters. Now let's see if everybody else who plays in this game makes the same kind of high-level contributions.
Here's Ellis. The layup off target. And so it's the Sacramento Kings heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Sacramento.
These guys have been so quick off the dribble, finding great lanes to attack and getting themselves to the basket.
Well, I want to add also the damage that has been done on the inside. It's a lot of rubble in there, but they're continuing to go right at the defense.
We've got Green. Curry is out there with Moses Moody. Then it's Butler. And it's Post in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter. Sabonis sets the pick for Levine. Jimmy Butler with the rebound. Warriors trail by 5. Curry with it. Picked up by Ellis. Puts up a 3. Curry! What else is new?
I mean, just so easy for Curry to get that 3 off. Beautiful shot.
Well, Brent, last season was disappointing for the Kings after being eliminated in the play-in.
Yeah, a little bit of regression. They did have some key injuries to some guys in the stretch of the season that was vital for them to make the playoff push. But I think it helped them realize just how fun the playoffs are and just how hard it is to get back there. And maybe in this offseason they come back a little bit more focused, knowing how loaded the Western Conference is.
And here is Ellis. He's got 10. Kick out to Levine. Curry against Ellis. Count it. Good. Ellis has got 12.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's Post. Down low. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by DeRozan. And, oh, here we go. DeRozan. Nobody back.
And that's the athleticism. When DeRozan takes off like that, he is looking to ring the bell.
Curry outside. Rebound by the Kings. Sabonis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Greg, their offensive approach has been rock solid here.
And they're finding the weak spots in the D and attacking it.
He just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players playing today can do.
Outside Curry. Inside, Sabonis with the steal. Ellis against Curry. Sabonis' screen on Curry. Ellis can't get it to go.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And there's a nice one-handed slam.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
Stolen by Ellis. Pass to Levine. Launches it. That one's off. He's made 5 and missed 3 now. Warriors trail by 8. Driving the lane.
Draymond Green, we know he plays with attitude. He plays with force. His teammates appreciate the unselfish approach he has.
Levine with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. Right side, DeRozan. On the wing, Levine. Murray sets a screen for Levine. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. Levine's got 15.
That's one of the best three-point shooters. You got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot.
Here's Murray. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And now it's an 11-point Kings lead.
And look at the inside presence already from Murray. It'll be fun to watch this young man grow.
To the paint. Here's Post. Rebound by the Kings. Got a piece of it. Sabonis, the pass to Levine. Oh, he jams it right over Draymond Green. Wow.
A guy more than capable of creating his own offense. Sometimes you just give him the ball and get out of his way.
Curry. They can't stop the run with that one. Kings leading now by 13. Here's DeRozan. Pass to Ellis. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And he uses the glass on the layup. He's got 16.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Curry through traffic. Count it! Oh!
This is just not a surprise. Steph Curry is having a massive offensive game.
Pass to Ellis. Over to the left wing. A shot by Sabonis. Nobody around. And again, it's Sacramento converting.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead. Calling on the right guys.
He made it! He gets it to go!
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
That's an incredible shot there. Just let it fly, take a chance, and somehow...
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Curry has been sensational.
Well, through the first two, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
Yeah, you would hope the defense at least would start to consider creeping up on him just a little bit.
On the court right now for the Kings, they've got Monk. Trey Lyles out there with Jay Crowder. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's LaRavia in at the shooting guard. Kuminga, no good. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Second shot opportunity. It's hauled in by Lyles. Kings leading now by 12. All right, Brent, quickly. First thing that comes to your mind when you think of Jonathan Kuminga.
Physicality, Kevin. I mean, this guy is so dominant athletically that Jonathan Kuminga is a presence out on the floor. If he continues to put himself in the situations where he can put his body on guys and play fearlessly, his game is going to continue to grow. Yeah, even though Hield can pull up from anywhere, you love that he's always looking to find a shot for his teammate.
Monk for three, sinks the triple, and the Kings lead by 13.
He's going to punish you if you leave him open. He's more than willing to take the open three when he's got it.
Kuminga down low, covered by Lyles. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Podziemski. Jacks up a three. Somehow misses the one-handed flush.
And, you know, you can see in his eyes, he knows that is not a dunk he should have missed.
And Valanciunas kicks to Crowder. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. LaRavia passes to Monk. Just 5 on the clock. At 3 off the mark. Warriors trail by 13. Outside Kuminga. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
And a big part of perimeter defense, Greg, avoiding screens. What are some of the tricks of the trade in that regard?
Well, sometimes you have to get skinny. I mean, other times it's using your strength. A lot goes into it. Also, you know, getting a cadence for the screener. It's one of the more challenging aspects of NBA defense.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
Buddy Hield just has such an incredibly quick trigger.
Podziemski with it. Nothing on the board. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Count that one. Kings leading now by 7. Now, here's Monk. Three-pointer. Sinks the three-pointer. Monk's got 6 points.
And you gotta love that three-point stroke of Monk. I mean, he's got such a high-arcing shot there. It gives it a good chance to go in from deep.
Pass to Jackson Davis.
Oh, reversed it home. That was pretty.
Agreed. The agility on display. Well, the Kings went from 3 seed in 2023 to out of the playoffs completely, Brent, last season.
Well, it speaks to how competitive the Western Conference was. You know, you got to realize, Kevin, Sacramento won just 2 less games than they did after that magical run in 2023. The West was just better. So the Kings got to fill some holes, find some pieces, and hopefully have some guys improve upon what they did last season.
Hield finds Jackson Davis. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession.
Sacramento ball.
Sacramento leading by 11. Monk, the pass to LaRavia. Now, here's Monk. He's defended by Podziemski. Outside Crowder. Another 3 for Sacramento.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Maybe trying to find a little bit more space and ball movement to get guys open at the three-point line.
And Malik Monk is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Here's Pajemski. Still without a basket. Pick by Kuminga. Just 5 to shoot. That shot missing. Nice D from Valanciunas. The Kings have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Monk dishes to Valanciunas. Offensive rebound. Now Monk. Pass to Valanciunas. Back to Monk. And another shot. No good that time. And so it's the Sacramento Kings with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, is peripheral vision.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. They've got Peyton. There's Jackson Davis out there with Kuminga. Then there's Brandon Pajemski. And it's Hield in at the 3, the small forward. Monk kicks to Valanciunas. Back to Monk. To the middle. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And Valanciunas just needs a little bit of airspace. He's so big, easy for him to get to the rim.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. To the inside. Here's Jackson Davis. Lots of room. It's not going to go for him.
Yeah, that miss might stick with him for a little while. That's kind of a shoot-around jumper if I've ever seen it.
And it's Gary Payton II with the foul. That's his first foul. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Levine a screen on Curry. Here's Ellis. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the arm.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Sacramento.
Well, I've been impressed with the ball movement all game long. They're really looking to just make that extra pass.
Well, the three-point shot has been absolutely huge for them this entire game. And let's be honest, you have to knock down threes to win games these days.
That one doesn't drop. And so Ellis will bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. 17-point lead, their biggest. Here's Murray. The Warriors pull it in. Butler's got 4 rebounds in this game. Takes the 3. Outside Curry. Stephen Curry. What a shooter.
I mean, the range is just unreal. Curry can make even the toughest shots look easy.
There's Ellis with the 3 ball. Warriors with the rebound. Outside Green. Pass to post. Over Sabonis. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Ellis surveying the D. The kick out to Sabonis. Again, the miss by the Kings.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide open look from three-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them.
Here's Moody. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Kings leading now by 12. DeRozan for 3. Again, the miss by the Kings. Golden State running out of time. From deep three-point territory. From beyond the arc and then some. Curry's got 24 points.
This is why you got to be right up on Curry, because he's a dangerous threat off the dribble.
And here's Golden State. Good momentum, 8 straight points.
Sacramento foul. Ellis. Second personal foul. First team foul.
1:43 left to play here in the fourth. Green finds Curry. Just 4 to shoot. Off target with his 3. And it's the Kings with the ball. Here's Ellis. And Ellis throws it down.
Love seeing a point guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better finish.
Well, just seeking out weaknesses in the defense and then exploiting it.
To the wing right side. Post. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 3 assists in the game.
So much attention on Steph that really opens up the floor.
Ellis against Curry. Kick out to Levine. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for Sacramento.
Their superior ball handling won it for them.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Ellis.
Serving up feeds all night long. He was the best teammate that they had on the floor.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Ellis, the pass to Levine. Murray is screen on Butler. Levine inside the three-point line. Green with the rebound. That is amazing. So the Kings win it. This was a very strong showing. All right, DA, thanks again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony.
Grant, tonight we've got two teams who aren't afraid to slow the pace of the game.
Well, B.A., it's because they're both adept at operating their half-court sets. They don't feel the need to push the tempo all the time.
So the opening lineup for the Timberwolves. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Naz Reid out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's the shot he typically makes.
Curry goes in. Outside for Butler. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Curry.
Seems to me like Butler is just always in rhythm and under control. His next shot is never far away.
Edwards for 3. No luck on that one. Golden State has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. And it's Butler with the jam.
Boy, if you want to stop Jimmy Butler, you got to bring all-out effort. This guy loves to compete.
DiVincenzo against Curry. Here's DiVincenzo. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
DiVincenzo with the nice touch on the inside shot. Boy, he really knows how to make it work at close range.
Grant, when you look at Draymond Green's career, you think he's going to the Hall of Fame?
You know, B.A., I believe so. He's won multiple titles, and we know how impactful he has been as a defender and distributor especially. I think we'll see him in Springfield one day.
Knocks it down from distance. DiVincenzo's got his second basket on the night.
And DiVincenzo able to stretch the floor, spread the defense out, especially with how accurate he is from deep.
Curry, that's good.
He's taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now here's DiVincenzo. He's got 5. Oh, the teardrop falls in. DiVincenzo's got his third basket on the night right there.
Funky finish by DiVincenzo there, using the floater as a way to neutralize the shot blocker.
Outside Moody. Pass to Green. Takes the 3. Edwards pulls it in. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Nice shot by DiVincenzo.
And the three-point shot of DiVincenzo is dangerous. Defense cannot allow him to get airspace from that.
Back to Curry. Pass to post. 6 on the shot clock. Curry against McDaniels. Oh, rejected by McDaniels.
The length of McDaniels, a big factor at both ends.
A slam dunk by Reid.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And again, no good by Golden State. And the Timberwolves with possession. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Randle on the screen. Fires the 3. Edwards, that's good.
And adding to this lead right now. Riding a wave of momentum.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're going to start stretching this lead out a little bit.
Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Now here's Butler. He's got 5. And 1:01 left in the first quarter of the game. And he can't sink that one. He's 2 for 4 in the contest. Edwards looking for an opening. Reid, a screen on Butler. Outside Reid. Out to DiVincenzo. Kept alive. A slam dunk by Reid.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Now here's Curry. That one falls. His second make in 5 attempts.
Hey, inside Curry has all the tricks. Floaters, scoop shots, fallaways, left hand, right hand. However he has to do it, he will.
And it's Jimmy Butler with the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, he tried to gain position, but couldn't quite get there. Yeah, he was one step late that time.
Reed, a screen on Butler. Outside Reed. Pass to McDaniels. Back to Reed. It's stolen by Green.
Active hands prevented an easy bucket that time.
Oh, it would have counted had it fallen, but it is offline. Domination in the first quarter. We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Minnesota?
Well, in today's NBA, the three-point shot is so valuable. They realize this, and that's why they're continuing to drain as many as they can.
But how about their scoring in transition as well? That's been a big factor to this point. Are those high tops or track shoes these guys are wearing? My goodness.
On the court for the Timberwolves, second quarter underway. Ed is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Naz Reid. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. And you played for several different coaches with very different philosophies, Grant. Did you have a favorite system?
Well, you know, B.A., I did. I played 19 years, a number of different coaches, but the 8 seconds or less offense back when I was with the Suns as a player, you want to run. And honestly, it's so much fun getting up and down the court like that.
Now here's Edwards. Reed, a screen on Butler. Here's Edwards. Just 5 on the clock. It's rebounded by Jimmy Butler.
Boy, that's a look he has to finish, and he knows it. Lone opportunity.
Butler, unfazed.
Easy to see why Butler gets so much respect for his competitiveness. I mean, he thrives at finishing through contact.
Outside Reed, three-pointer. He drops it from range. Reed's got 7.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
Curry finds Green. Back to Curry. Puts up a 3. Rebound Minnesota.
Yeah, you know, he usually makes you pay from that range.
And when you look back at the 2023 draft, the Warriors got great value out of their picks.
Yeah, I mean, they got Podziemski with the 19th pick, a versatile player who impacts the game at both ends. And they also got Trace Jackson Davis late in the second round. And he is a fundamentally sound big man with great upside.
And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Moody from outside. Ooh, the smooth 3 from Moody. Minnesota leading by 10. Outside, DiVincenzo. Pass to Reed. Back to DiVincenzo. Now Edwards. Butler covering. Oh, and a fast break for the Warriors. Here's Post. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. Jaden McDaniels picks one up.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
Clark, with Minnesota being a major player in the West now, Wolves Nation is howling.
Howling and growling, B.A. That's the name of their fan base, and yeah, they're excited, and for good reason. Not only is this team competitive, but they can be downright dominant at times, especially at the defensive end of the floor. Easy group to cheer for.
Curry. Curry creates inside.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
Reed, a screen on Curry. Nice shot by DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's got 14 points for the game.
No question about it. DiVincenzo has found his rhythm tonight, making it look easy on offense.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, the Timberwolves, no doubt, a team to be reckoned with. Coach Chris Finch said, we come in every single night and compete. No matter what the circumstances are, we expect to win. We root for each other, so I feel like we have all the makings of a tough team.
And they have reason to be confident, Allie. Thank you. Here's Curry. The Timberwolves getting their last shot to go. To the left side wing. Clock at 6. Moody on the wing. DiVincenzo covering. Moody misses.
Boy, he's got to be kicking himself for failing to make that shot. That's money.
Oh, Edwards! Money on the triple!
And, you know, succeeding in the catch-and-shoot game will really help Edwards set up his drives to the hoop.
And here's Butler outside. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. 52 seconds left in the half. Edwards with it. Now guarded by Curry. McDaniels from long range. Offensive rebound. Launches it. Tries yet again. Fires from the wing. That one's wide left. Warriors trail by 13. Pass to Curry. A deep three. Up again. Perfect timing from Butler there.
Hey, the defense has to recognize that Butler is a threat to throw it down. He's about 6'7", maybe 6'8".
Here's Edwards. Oh! Edwards with the highlight reel jam.
And this kind of sick slam is just one of the reasons this team is injured. A dynamic finish, then decides to hang out a little for good measure.
Yep, that's the exclamation point right there.
We've seen those kinds of plays get them going in the past.
25.
Thanks very much, Allie. And folks, we'll be right back to start the second half of this game. Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been quite a game for Dante DiVincenzo.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
Brandon Pajemski out there with Gary Payton II. Then it's Trace Jackson Davis. Then there's Jonathan Kuminga. And it's Hield in at the small forward position. That's the Warriors 5. Gobert with a screen on Payton. And it's Alexander Walker penetrating. Drops in the layup for 2. Alexander Walker's got his first 2 points of the night.
A great move. I mean, the defense has no response.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Not exactly sure what the defense is thinking. You know he's going to be aggressive coming out of the half.
That's a mistake they cannot afford to repeat very often. I mean, you can't leave him alone like that. He'll torch you.
Outside, Alexander Walker for 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. And the Warriors pushing it up now. Hield from outside. On target from range.
This is a key make for Hield, showing the ability to shoot it off the bounce.
Alexander Walker with it. And it's Hield picking him up. Here's Minot. Here's Gobert. And the jam by Gobert.
The 7-footer plus Rudy Gobert goes up and makes it hurt coming down.
Pajemski had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Inside. Gobert no good. Warriors trail by 12. Outside Kuminga. 3-pointer. Alexander Walker grabs the board. Minnesota's gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the third. Fires for 3. And he stays with it. To the paint. Here's Gobert. Throws it down. And the the official calls a foul. It may be a three-point play. Reese Jackson Davis picks one up, and he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight. All right, Clark, how about Rudy Gobert? What consistency rebounding the ball.
Yeah, averaging double digits pretty much every season, VA, and that helps them in the battle of possessions, obviously. And it also helps them control pace. You've got a guy who eats glass like that and defends at a high level. You got something real good for yourself.
Wow, Kuminga playing way above the rim.
The pass, the catch, the slam. What a clean play.
And absolutely jaw-dropping.
Tell you what, you wouldn't know they're the team trailing when they're able to pull off plays like that.
Alexander Walker, the pass to Gobert. Here's the break. Here's Jackson Davis. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Kuminga's shot is off.
And, you know, even though that shot didn't go down, I like how they got him a wide-open look in space there.
Alexander Walker, the pass to Gobert. And it's out of bounds to Minnesota.
Great read to get a hand in there and disrupt the play.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Back to Alexander Walker. Beyond the arc. Oh, he drains the three, and he'll go to the line for one more. That's on Gary Payton II. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, those were fine numbers he posted at the line. It was hard to find fault with anything he did from the stripe.
Outside Kuminga. A minute 9 left to play in the third quarter of basketball. Kuminga soars in for the slam. Man, he makes it look easy.
A bit undersized. His hops make him a legit small ball four.
Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Gobert. Miller, he's open. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Miller's got his first points of the night.
Gobert can look over the top of just about any defense right there. Delivers a nice pass.
Now, B.A., you know they would love for him to get more of those opportunities.
Well, that would cut into the deficit quickly if he does.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand hole punch.
Picked by Gobert. And it's Alexander Walker penetrating. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move! He's got a chance for one more at the line. Reese Jackson Davis picks one up. He's 0 for 1 at the line, missing on his first trip. Warriors trail by 16. Down low. 6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
Great teamwork and great timing.
Oh, spectacular play.
And the crowd got their jaws dropped on that one. Total disbelief.
Left side, Alexander Walker to the middle. Gobert passes to Alexander Walker. Over Payton. That one is off. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome. It's Minnesota. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the court for the Timberwolves, Miller is out there with Rudy Gobert. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and it's Shannon in at the point guard position.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
There's a screen by Kuminga. Outside Pajemski, and the foul called on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's his first foul, and it's a completely new group here for the Warriors. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. And a deep three from Curry. Out of bounds, the Timberwolves will take it.
Ball to Minnesota.
Curry against DiVincenzo. Reed, a screen on Curry. Here's DiVincenzo. Outside Reed, pass to Edwards. Reed sets a screen, fires from deep. Edwards can't hit. Warriors trail by 13. And here's Butler outside from beyond the arc and then some.
You got to tag Butler in transition. He's got the quickness and athleticism to shred defenses in the open floor.
Edwards can't hit.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Pass to post. Green in the post. Guarded by Edwards. The Timberwolves lead by 10. To the inside. Curry with a steal. Here's the break. Here's Green. Oh, Draymond finishing himself.
I mean, can't forget where Green is in transition because he keeps himself ready to score in these situations.
Edwards for three. Fires in the triple. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
Now, you have to extend that defense. I mean, you really have to stay connected to him at all times.
Yeah, especially with the score being what it is. I mean, you got to tighten it up on D.
Curry against McDaniels. There's the three. Rebound Minnesota. Randall's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Minnesota has gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range.
That's excellent defense right there on the perimeter.
Golden State has gone 2 of 4 from the perimeter here in the fourth quarter. Oh, got that one up quick.
Part of Draymond's value, the playmaking he gives you out of the front court.
And here's Butler outside. Curry looking it over. Fires from deep. Here's post. Another miss. Boy, they had their chance there. Couldn't get it to go. Here's Edwards. Here he goes. The rebound by Moody. Warriors trail by 9. Curry with it. Now guarded by McDaniels. And here's Butler outside. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Curry. Curry's got his 4th assist in this one. Randall on the screen. Here's Edwards. Oh, the finish inside by Edwards.
Built like a linebacker, Edwards is not your average off guard, folks.
And here's Curry for 3. Anthony Edwards with a rebound. Edwards has got 4 rebounds now. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. No problems knocking that one down. And now it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
Yeah, you know, he's evolving his offense over time, Julius Randle, and I think the coaching staff is happy to see it. They like to see him take and make these shots.
Curry's shot is off.
Trying to end this thing with some big threes, but the accuracy just isn't there tonight.
Here's Edwards. The rebound by post.
Come on. If you're going to go for the crazy dunk, better finish it.
Butler with the ball. He's picked up by Edwards. There's 57 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Fires the 3. 4-3, Stephen Curry.
That's Curry's game. I mean, you can't give him a sliver of daylight out there.
Outside Edwards. Reed, a screen on Butler. And here's Edwards outside. The Warriors pull it in. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Randall against Curry. Lets it go from deep. McDaniels with the rebound.
He continues to let it fly, but the makes have been few and far between.
Shot is good by Edwards.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Oh, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
How about that?
What a shot.
Mark it up.
Fires away from way outside. The rebound by Moody. So we see the Timberwolves get the win here.
The end of the game.
It ends up being a fairly easy road. All right, Alec, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Grant Hill, Clark Kelly.